Good evening, my fantastic students. Today we'll be discussing argumentative essays. My first question for you tonight is, do you like to argue with your parents? I sure know you like to do those debates in class. So let's get into it on what you need to know about argumentative essays. First tonight, what you'll need is your journal, a pencil, and the outline that I gave to you labeled Building an Argument. This will be used after you have seen this presentation. Let's begin with writing down in your writing tab inside your journal our academic vocabulary. What is an argument? An argument is an attempt to persuade someone by presenting evidence to the listener to explain why it is a favorable choice. So what is an argumentative essay? An argumentative essay presents evidence for an argument in order to let the reader know why it is favorable. It also shows why the other side of an argument is unfavorable. We want to show both sides when giving evidence on one side, which is your claim, and the opposite side, your counterclaim. The parts of an argumentative essay starts with the topic. Here I have chosen a topic of my own. I started with a question. Should people be encouraged to commute by bicycle rather than by car? The following will show you the parts that you will need for your argumentative essay. Please write this down in your journals. Number 1, the claim. The claim is the position or assertion that supports an argument. If I were to write a claim on my topic, it would include people should be encouraged to commute by bicycle rather than by car. Here I have stated my claim that I prefer people to commute by bicycle than by car. 2, you must gather some evidence. The facts or reasons that support the claim. Some evidence that I have taken from my own opinion is maintaining a bicycle is less expensive than a car. Some ways to support your claim is by gaining evidence by facts, statistics, or examples. Remember to cite your sources and making sure that seeing sources that may be by a doctor, a well-recognized source or website, and numbers really show the people with the counterclaim what you are talking about. 3, the warrant. The chain of reasoning that connects evidence to the claim. In my topic, I chose to say, for my warrant, that financial commuting costs for a bicycle are considerably less than by car. 4, the counterclaim, an opposing position or assertion. This is where you will have to find evidence from the opposite of your claim. Yes, it does seem kind of different to find somebody that disagrees with you, but it will prove that you know what you're talking about if you choose somebody that speaks against you and you give your rebuttal, which is the next part of our argumentative essay. For my counterclaim, I chose to say, some say that riding a bike would increase commuting time and decrease productivity. To argue that point and come back strong, I start with number 5, a rebuttal, which is logical reasons for rejecting the counterclaim. My rebuttal would be commuting by bicycle would mean avoiding rush hour traffic jams. So as a reminder, my counterclaim of finding somebody that was going against me said that riding a bike would increase commuting time and decrease productivity, which, going back to the rebuttal, I am arguing back on for my side and saying commuting by bicycle would mean avoiding rush hour traffic jams. An argumentative essay will also include, like any other essay, an introduction and conclusion. I chose to speak about my bicycle versus cars. Here is an example of my introduction to my topic. Why should we ditch our fancy, high-priced, gas-guzzling sports cars and pick up a low-tech bicycle? Well, we should all choose to take the old-fashioned route because there are many benefits to riding a bike around town. Although it may be more work, a bicycle's benefit will outweigh a car's dangerous fumes any day. People should be encouraged to commute by bicycle rather than by car. If you notice that my last sentence is the claim that you saw previously, it is a good suggestion to place your claim at the end so that your reader will know where you are headed in your essay. Your objective now. You need to choose a side to argue from the topic you chose. Then research and write an argumentative essay explaining why your side is a favorable choice. You may choose any topic that you would like. Make sure that your topic is easy to find research, to find facts, and also that you can find a counterclaim that will be easy to rebut. Your next steps. Form your claim. Research for evidence to support your claim. Connect your evidence to the claim, which is your warrant. Consider and address the counterclaim, and give reasons for rejecting the counterclaim, which is your rebuttal. Yes, this will be 5 paragraphs. Your first paragraph should include the introduction and your claim. Your second paragraph should present evidence and why it is important. This is where you will use your facts, your statistics, or any other research that will support your claim. Number 3 paragraph would be addressing the counterclaim. This is where you will find someone who is against your claim. Number 4 is reasons for rejecting the counterclaim. It is your rebuttal. Just for a reminder, when you address your counterclaim, you have to find some other research that will go against that counterclaim as your rebuttal. It's kind of like you have a punch in the shoulder and you want to punch them back with something stronger. Your 5th paragraph will include your conclusion. We will later review conclusions to make sure that you finish powerfully with this argumentative essay. I have also included a more detailed outline for you. This will also be available in Google Classroom ELA. For your first paragraph, you will have an introduction. This will introduce your claim. In your second paragraph, present evidence. This is good information about your claim. It is to back up everything you have said in that claim in your first introduction paragraph. You will punch, like I said, 3 times, and it has to be powerful. So those facts, those statistics, and research are the power part of your punch. Your third paragraph addresses the counterclaim. This is also good information about the counterclaim. You don't want to choose something that is too weak, even though you do not agree with it. But this is where your counter will punch back at you. So you must find something for your rebuttal that will give some power back to restate your claim and make sure that it is strong. Please provide 3 pieces of evidence that go along with your counterclaim. In your 4th paragraph, it will be your rebuttal. This will be your final punch. You want to include information that makes the counterclaim look bad. I would suggest to find 3 facts that go against the 3 pieces of evidence that you stated in your counterclaim. Your 5th paragraph is your conclusion. This will sum up all the important information and points that you included to go along with your claim. You may restate some evidence, but do not copy what you put inside the 2nd paragraph. It will lead the reader to be bored. You do not want to bore your reader. So make sure your conclusion is just summing up what you said, not restating or saying the same thing over again. I wanted to also take a look at your building an argument outline. Your building an argument outline should look like this. What I need you to do tonight is to write down a claim. This is your main idea. This is what your whole paper will be about. I would suggest to write claim right here. Try and write neater than I do here. So this is your claim as a reminder. I would like you to fill on this circle with your claim. And I would also like you at this time to find 3 reasons why you believe in this claim. That would be what I'm most looking for. The reason for making sure that you have these 3 reasons, I will be looking at to see if they are completely different reasons. They should not sound exactly the same or restate a phrase a different way. Once you have done that, I would like you to try to get some evidence for your reasons. This would be your power of your punch. So again, just remind what I'm talking about when I say punch. I mean that this is maybe the hit part of your punch. This will be where it says evidence to back up my reasons. This will be the power from the punch. So the stronger that this evidence is, will make your reasons even stronger. You may look online. You can Google it if you would like. I have also set up some websites to help you find the best information that is needed. Just to go through the rest of the worksheet or the outline that I am calling it, I would like you to find a counter argument. You can start it with, you could argue that, and then find the counter argument that goes against your claim here. Then I need you to find a rebuttal for this. That will be going against your counter argument. Once you have found all of these, you will notice that you have a strong finish. That will be your conclusion. So just to remind you, this will help you with your and this will help you with your introduction paragraph, which includes the claim. This will be your 2nd paragraph, this area right here. This will be your 3rd paragraph, your counter argument, and your 4th paragraph will be the rebuttal. Your 5th paragraph will be the strong finish, which is your conclusion. If you have any questions, you know that you can always go to Google Hangouts and speak to me, or you can also text me if you have any questions on the lesson tonight. Please review the lesson more than once if you need to. And please tomorrow have